Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another ultimate review by Purecast9. In today's episode, I'm going to give you the most in-depth and unbiased review of the Zoook Rocker Boombox Atom, a Bluetooth speaker recently launched by Zoook, and here are my thoughts. So before I give you my verdict on how it sounded in my testing and give you a sound test so that you can form your judgment, let's go over some of the specs of this speaker. So it is a 10 watt RMS speaker, rocks Bluetooth version 5, has IPX4 water and dust resistance, has an inbuilt FM with external antenna, has a dedicated pen drive port, so you can plug in your pen drive and listen to your favorite songs, also has a micro SD card slot and an aux port. Now the build is something I was really impressed by because it's got a very robust and rugged build with protection all around. So this can take rough use quite a lot and gives you the assurance that even if you drop it or it bumps into the wall or anywhere, it won't do much damage to the speaker. Now, the speaker is not going to give you 360-degree sound. It is a front-firing speaker, so if you're sitting in front, that is when you're going to get the maximum magnitude of the sound. And if you're sitting at the back, you're not going to get much of it. Rather, you're going to miss out on a lot of the volume. Now let's talk about the sound. How did it perform in my testing? Now, I don't just say good sound or bad sound. I always say that any sound that you hear is broadly made up of 3 frequencies: the highs, the mids, and the lows. So how did it perform in these 3 frequencies? Starting off with the highs, where the sharp sounding instruments are, the highs are not as clean as I would want them to be. And I'm talking about whenever I do this testing, I do that in different volumes. I'm talking about at max volume, there is a bit of distortion and there is a bit of sibilance. So the S's, they kind of have distortion and they don't sound as clean. And after a point of time, if you're listening at 100% volume constantly, it is a bit unpleasant. So highs could have used a bit more cleaning up, but keeping the volume at 70%, it reduces the distortion a lot and doesn't sound as unpleasant. Moving on to the mid frequencies where the vocals lie, this speaker is really mid heavy. So if you are getting this to listen to podcasts or interviews, the mids or the vocals are going to sound very bright and very upfront. I mean, that's the first frequency that's going to hit you when you hear a song. So very mid heavy, but again at max volume, it's not the cleanest rendering of the mids. There is distortion and again, it sounds a bit too upfront, too bright, not natural. But again, if you are going to use this to listen to talk shows or something like that, then it would, well, suit that purpose. But for songs where you want a balance, for my taste, it was a bit too bright and a bit too sharpened, losing out on the natural warmth of the voice. Now coming to the lows or the bass, which we all love, this speaker kind of lacks the bass. And they don't even mention that it has a passive bass radiator inbuilt, so they don't have that. But even if you expect some bass from it, it is very, very low. It doesn't produce any sort of thump. I'm not saying it's absent. There is a tad bit of bass that you can hear that it's trying to push out, but it's not going to satisfy your bass head by any means, and it really lacks the bass. So bass, I wouldn't say it's very good. It's mainly the mids and the highs. So out of 5, the max I can give this speaker is a 2.8 in terms of sound quality only. But if I factor in that it's got Bluetooth version 5, that means when you're watching a video and relaying the sound through the speaker, there is going to be almost no latency or lag between the audio and video. If you consider the inbuilt FM, and the reception of which was really good indoors. If you consider it's got a USB port, it's a micro SD card slot and aux input. Considering all of that, I would definitely give this speaker a 3.2 out of 5. So host of connectivity options with average sound. That's the max I can give it. If you consider all of that, then it is not a bad package. So that's my verdict. I'm going to now leave you with 2 tracks on this speaker. It's going to play at max volume. You guys listen, form your judgment, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you do decide to buy this speaker, I would really appreciate if you use the link in the description below. It will help me run this channel and I can produce more and more content just for you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hit like on the way out, subscribe to Purecast9, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.
While you and me repeat, this bittersweet heat is suffocating.